ክፉሽንም እንዳልሰማ ጸሎትን አደርሳለሁ መቼም ተርፎሽ ባትቸሪኝ ባይሞላልሽ ገበታሽ የትብቴ መቀበሪያ ዛሬም ለኔ ክብሬ ነሽ ሀገሬ መኖሬ ሀገሬ መመኪያዬ ሀገሬ ለኔ ሀገሬ መጠለያዬ በምድርሽ ላይ ምንጭሽ በዝቶ ይፍለቅልሽ እጅሽ ሞልቶ ሁሉም ዘግቶ ይትገብልሽ በአፈርሽ ላይ የዘራነው ይስመረልን የሰጠንን ፍሬ አድርጎ ይባርክልን ሀገሬ ለኔ ክብሬ ሀገሬ መኖሪያዬ ሀገሬ መጠለያዬ ሀገሬ አድጋለሁ ክፉሽንም እንዳልሰማ ጸሎትንም አደርሳለሁ።
ክቡራትና ክቡራን እንደምን አመሻችሁ። በአራተኛው የሲድ ዝግጅት በመገኘታችሁ በጣም ደስ ብሎናል። አሁን ፕሮግራሙን እንጀምራለን። Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ephraim Kaba, and I will be your host tonight, and I'm proud to welcome all of you for the 24th Annual Seed Award, and I feel privileged and in the company of so many American people. Right now we have Shawan, Dr. Shawan, to come to the stage. Well, I'm sorry, will come to the stage. I said Moa, that's Dr. Moa Bift.
On behalf of the Society of Ethiopians established in the diaspora, I would like to extend my heartfelt welcome to all of you to the 24th Annual Dinner Awards Ceremony. Officially, tonight is labeled as a ceremony, but in reality, it's a celebration. It's a celebration about our love and passion for Ethiopia. A night that empowers the Ethiopian and Ethiopian America and the diaspora in areas of academic excellence, professional development, and community service. The celebration started in '93 with about 70 people showing up to the first event. Many years later, we have grown by many folds in a great venue like tonight. This in itself is a testament that Seed is endeared by the community. So thanks to all of you who have supported us and traveled us along the way. Thank you for your financial support, your volunteer, and your encouragement over the years. I asked myself, how is Seed able to continue for so long? 24 years exactly. There isn't that many things we do in life for that long. We don't go to school for that long. We don't own a car for that long. We don't even raise a child that long. At least that's what my parents told me. When I turned 18, they showed me the doors. You see, there isn't that many things in life that we do for 24 years. So how did Seed do it? The answer to this question might be determined by evaluating one of Seed's honorees in 2010, the late great Mr. Abebe Bikila.
ፕሮግራማችንን በጸሎት ነው የምንጀምረው። አሁን ጸሎት ለማድረግ ነው የቆምኩት። የተከበራችሁ እናቶች፣ አባቶች፣ እህቶችና ወንድሞች፣ የሴት ቤተሰቦች፣ የዕለቱ እንግዶች እንደምን ከረማችሁ፣ እንደምን አመሻችሁ። እንደገና በቸርነቱ ጠብቆ በዚች ዕለት በዚች ቦታ ያሰባሰበን በኃያሉ በእግዚአብሔር ስም ሰላምታ ለእናንተ ይሁን። በዚህ ምሽት የእግዚአብሔርን ጥሪ ተቀብለው የሌሎችን ችግር ለማቃለል በተግባር ጥረት ያደረጉትን እግዚአብሔር በሰጣቸው እውቀት በመጠቀም ራሳቸውን ከፍ ላለ ቁም ነገር ያበቁትን ወንድሞችና እህቶች እንዲሁም ወጣት ልጆቻችንን ለማክበር ተሰብስበናል። እስከዚህ ቀጥሎ ያለውን እንግዲህ በእንግሊዝኛ እንድናገር ፈቀድልኝ። To accommodate all attendees, let me now continue the prayer in English. Before we start, just look around you and admire God's grace, the beauty, the smart, the kindness, the courage, and please express your appreciation to the people who are sitting right next to you, left and right, by saying that I am so glad that you're sitting next to me. Okay, please go ahead and do it if you would. All right. Okay. Let us now collect our thoughts and our minds to offer our prayer of thanksgiving. According to our culture and language and religion, we know you by different names. Some of us we call you Yahweh, Elohim, and some Exabher. To some of us you are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to some of us you are the intelligent designer. But you are one and the same. Blessed be thy name. This evening we are gathering here to honor these individuals who heed your calling and acted on the gifts you have given them for the betterment of all your people. We acknowledge that you are the source of all the gifts. Dear God, we pray that you bless them and even more, and bless this gathering, bless this organization Seed for the last 24 years, who has been highlighting extraordinary deeds done by ordinary individuals. Bless the food we are about to enjoy and bless those who prepared it. Gracious God, gracious and merciful God, as we engage in this gathering, help us to remember our brothers and sisters who are in need of basic human necessities. In your name we pray. Hallelujah. Praise God. Allahu Akbar. Wa subhanallah l'Exabher. Amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing before you tonight to pay tribute to 4 outstanding individuals who lost this year. First, Dr. Waldemar Kosturi was born on January 29, 1947 at Manfur. It's called The Spirit, a small village in Tablet and Bulga district and Northern Shoa province. He received his doctorate degree in physical education from Hungary. Dr. Waldemar Kosturi was soon named assistant coach of the national athletic team, which was preparing for the 1972 Munich Olympic Games. Dr. Waldemar is by far Ethiopia's greatest and most successful coach. From a serious car accident that forced him to walk with help of cane, couldn't deter him from doing what he does best, Dr. Waldemescan Kostere is known for his great ability and supporting and maturing young talents. He has been instrumental in developing the career of so many of our country's greatest athletes. He was instrumental in the introduction and implementation of athletic youth projects in all parts of the country. Secondly, our good friend, a long-time supporter, Tanay Niagara Selassie, has passed away early this month after a long illness on May 11, 2016. Tanay was a very special individual who knew the meaning of loyalty, love, and friendship, showed the definition of dignity and class. If you knew her for 10 minutes or 20 years, she treats you the same with unconditional and genuine love. She was she was the one to bring you into her joy and shield you from her pain. Tanay was part of the first established SEED board member and never left our side. After the passing of her loving husband, Samson Samuel, she established a scholarship in his name. She wanted to honor him and his passion by planting the seed for the next generation of innovators. I'm here to honor our dear friend Tanay Selassie for her love and passion for life. May God bless her soul and may she rest in peace. Mr. Kabeda Tafari was born on July 9, 1952 and passed away October 14, 2015. Mr. Kabeda helped set up financial and accounting system for SEED. As a CPA, he worked at the Brian Moore and Strathmore College. He also worked in the foreign service of the American Embassy in Accra, Ghana, where he served as a program analyst. Mr. Kabeda wrote books, composed Amharic play, and translated English books into native Amharic language, including Josko Vax, The Grand Inquisitor, and Voltaire's Candid. SEED board member and SEED family send their condolences to the family. May he rest in peace. Finally, SEED salutes Ambassador Zauderota in appreciation of his rich and positive contribution he has made for informing and sharing informing us the history of our country, beloved Ethiopia. As a personally witnessed and the unfolding during his public service. We salute him for his prophetic writings and abilities to touch in our deepest for having enriched us intelligently, as well as for having appealed to our collective conscience to remember and preserve our history. Fellow Ethiopians, salute him for having served our nation as an outstanding journalist, a respected historian, as a serious diplomat, and a role model to many Ethiopians and the diaspora community. And we keep him in our prayers, and let his Let him rest in peace. Thank you.
All right, good evening, and it's time to get this party started. How are we doing? All right, we welcome all of you to our new venue. Some of you have joined us at Georgetown University probably the past decade, so we're really excited to be in a new place. And of course, for those of you who are new, you will hear me talk about this part of the program and how much I love it, not just because I'm behind the microphone, but because I always have the honor and distinction of talking about these wonderful high school graduating seniors who are awesome, amazing. I'm going to tell you all about them. You're gonna clap without knowing you're clapping because you're going to be so inspired. And I realized actually this year we have all the four of the students to my right are from different states. So I thought that we would ask the audience, and clap if you're from the state of California, like Haymanot Shamadles. Anybody from California in the house tonight? All right, okay, some people. All right, okay, so how about if you're from New Jersey, like Emmanuel Fatana? All right, New Jersey's in the house. Sarah Belli from here in the DMV. That's probably like everybody. All right, okay, but watch this. I'm from the state of Ohio, a proud Midwestern. And here comes Emmanuel Fatana, so everybody from my state of Ohio, give it up. All right, awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about these wonderful seniors, and I will stop talking and about myself and this wonderful program and start with our first honoree this evening. So will Miss Sarah Belli please stand? Sarah Belli is a graduating senior from St. John's College High School in Washington, D.C. As a member of the National Honor Society, Sarah has taken rigorous loads of courses including AP History, AP English, AP Government, Honors Pre-Calc, Algebra, and Geometry. Beyond her academic achievements, which also include participating in the University of Virginia Society of Women Engineers program, Sarah is a member of so many organizations, it's as if the word member is her last name. Her strong passion to excel in community service, sports, and more is evidenced by her membership to organizations like Students Against Destructive Decisions, Varsity Crew Team, Track Team, Volleyball Team, the Girls Up Club. She also serves as a peer minister for her school where she mentors freshmen, leads weekly prayers, and organizes retreats from the student body. Sarah is someone whose heart is invested in helping others, and she is used every summer as an opportunity to improve the lives of others. She's participated in races that raise money for the homeless. She's volunteered with Capital Area Food Bank to feed the homeless. She spent another summer in 2013 with the Horizons Greater Washington Summer Camp, where she cooked and served food for K through 8 children from low-income families. In the summer of 2014, she was a math, reading, and writing tutor for children living on an Indian reservation in Montana. She also used the summer as a Sunday school counselor at Medanyalem Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And yes, of course, last summer in 2015, she traveled to Addis Ababa to serve as a camp counselor at the Flipper International School, where she worked with special needs children between the ages of 4 and 6. There is no question that Sarah is a naturally born humanitarian leader whose passion for helping others is ingrained in everything she does. We look forward to the many lives she will make better as she continues to make waves in academic excellence and community service. Sarah has received numerous merit scholarships at all the universities she's applied to, including $52,000 at the University of Pittsburgh, Greensburg, the Provost Scholar Award at Penn State for $64,000. I have to mention I just wish I could have gotten this much money when I was in college. So, the Provost Scholar Award at Temple University for $72,000 and St. John's University for $94,000. She has decided to major in neuroscience, where she'll be taking her talents to Virginia Tech. So let's give it up for Miss Sarah Belli. And next we have Ms. Haymanot Shamadles from California. Haimanot's story of determination and leadership is inspiring and teaches us all to be proud of our community and culture. An honors graduating senior from Monterey Trail High School in Elk Grove, California, Haimanot was born in Ethiopia and came to the United States at the age of 3. She's taken AP Psychology, AP English, AP Statistics, Physics, Pre-Calc, and has received nothing short of A's and A+ in classes like Chemistry, Spanish 2 and 3, U.S. History, English, and AP World History. In fact, her AP World History teacher spoke of how extremely difficult the class is and how Haimanot put an extra effort to make sure she understands the strategies used to organize and learn the curriculum. Her teacher says, quote, "I was impressed by her mature and academic discussions about world cultures. I learned that Haimanot is bilingual. She lives with her mother and grandmother, both who are not fluent in English. This speaks to her commitment to her education. Haimanot does not have the luxury of having an adult at home who can assist her with her schoolwork. Therefore, Haimanot must be her own advocate. This explains why she is so comfortable at communicating with her teachers. I am amazed at Haimanot's ability to speak to teachers and school staff with such ease and maturity. She leads her peers by example." End quote. In addition to receiving an A in both AP World History and Algebra 2, both of her teachers speak about her commitment to community service. Her Algebra 2 teacher says she excels at organization and perseverance and has developed an open-mindedness from being exposed to ideas from cultures other than her own. In fact, while Haimanot was being a diligent student and excelling in her classes, she served as the president of the Anti-Bullying Club. She spent several hours volunteering at a local elementary and middle school. And most notable, she serves as senior class president for the class of 2016 this year, which is a huge honor and testimony to her leadership and confidence and inspiration she exemplifies to both students and teachers alike. Haimanot is an eloquent writer as well. She herself says, quote, "Words have power. The simple art of language can convey an influential message to ignite a motivational spark in one's soul in order to create a change in their society. The right words of choice strung together may possess the overall ability to root deep into the raw flesh of individuals that will eventually plant vibrant seeds to nurture our future," end quote. Very wise. That sounds like poetry. It is no surprise that Haimanot is someone who carries a profound wisdom and determination to succeed, understands her path is bigger than herself, and knows the power of her purpose will make the world a better place. Haimanot plans to study international relations and political science and will be attending the University of California, San Diego in the fall. Let's give her a hand. Next up, Mr. Jonas Scheferau from New Jersey in the house. Jonas is a graduating senior at Lawrenceville School, a top-tier private boarding school in New Jersey. He's excelled in honors classes in U.S. history, calculus AB, economics, environmental science, and statistics. And even though his boarding school doesn't offer AP classes, Jonas still has scored high on the AP calculus and AP U.S. history exam. Jonas's teachers regard him as, quote, "a serious intellectual, a dedicated and inspiring athlete, admirable and morally grounded leader, and loyal stand-up community member that we aspire for him to be. A role model for his peers, Jonas's incisiveness, diligence, and quiet strength make him an asset in the classroom. His strong work ethic and his strong work in class bespeaks his diligent preparation outside of class, and he is a go-to contributor in class discussions," end quote. The Associate Director of College Counseling says in a nutshell, quote, "Jonas's compassion, self-awareness, dedication, maturity, and steady moral compass make him stand out. It is the same set of personal qualities that make him the obvious pick for honors representative. Honors representatives are students who are asked to sit on disciplinary committees, and consequently, the position of honors rep is typically reserved for the most respected members of the school. Jonas has made Lawrenceville a better place, and this makes us proud to call him a member of the class of 2016, end quote. I'm going to spend most of my time actually reading. I have a few more comments left about this remarkable young man, but I'm going to read his recommendations because they're quite incredible. It's as if the teachers are better because of students like Jonas. But first, let me tell you about what Jonas is doing when he's not in the classroom. He's busy winning several competitions as a track runner throughout his high school career, being a prefect and dorm counselor for his peers, serving as a sound technician director for school plays, publishing articles for the school newspaper, serving as honors representative where he leads by example in developing and maintaining the honor code policy. We say all these things to also just show it's not just about doing well, right, in class, it's also about how you use your time. And the fact that these kids have done, I shouldn't say kids, but young men and women are doing all these amazing things is really tribute to their passion for public service. Jonas has dedicated over 245 hours of community service when his high school only requires 40. So like the Lawrenceville School Camp, where he serves as counselor for underserved communities, or the Alliance of the Black Cultures Club, where he addresses key areas of concern in the Black community, or as vice president of Ride for the Future, where Jonas fundraises and donates bikes to impoverished kids in Guatemala, Mexico, and Ghana, kids who would otherwise walk miles to school. For instance, one of his recommendations reads, quote, across disciplines, the faculty compliment Jonas for being a student who consistently brings a sense of purpose, shows a willingness to take risks, and is unafraid to attack even the most challenging material, essential qualities for any growth mindset student. He has an uncanny ability to positively respond to feedback from his teachers with self-reflection, as well as careful, deliberate planning and implementation of strategies. In many ways, he is a teacher's dream, always listening, always paying attention, always heeding the advice he is given, always completing his homework, and more times than not, he's the first to arrive early and then stay late, the last to leave. And so he can get a question answered, review his homework, or start an assignment early. A serious, committed scholar indeed. You know, when I actually heard that quote, I started thinking about how he's so similar to so many of our parents' generations who tell you those stories about how, you know, they were always, you know, working from the crack of dawn as the sun rise till the sunset. They were reading, then by night, candlelight, they still read. This is the path for success. You know, I'm like, you're really that person. So great job. So you are definitely carrying the tradition on, and we are proud of you. So Jonas has earned our highest recommendation for admission. This is what his teacher says, and continues to say, the sky is truly the limit for what this aspiring scholar will achieve, and he will be missed next year. Jonas has decided to major in economics and will be attending Amherst College in Massachusetts in the fall. So let's give him a round of applause. Okay, and last but not certainly least, Mr. Emmanuel Fatana from the state of Ohio. Emmanuel also attended a top-tier private boarding school, University School in Ohio. Born in Ethiopia, like Haimanot, Emmanuel's teachers rave about his brilliance combined with his noble and gregarious character. His faculty advisor says, quote, it isn't just the chance to work with one of the most intelligent, self-effacing, and kind-hearted students I have ever known that has made knowing this young man so special. It is simply the fact that Emmanuel is like a ray of light in the lives of everyone who knows him, end quote. His teachers have marked all his courses as the most demanding in all areas, and yet Emmanuel has still received A's in courses like AP Biology, French 2, English, Chemistry, Honors Physics, AP Calculus, Trigonometry, and Algebra 2. It's like a different language. He's also excelled in classes like AP English, AP Chemistry, and French 6. I didn't even know if French 6 exists. It must be like writing poetry and like singing opera at the same time or something, I don't know. Anyway, Emmanuel is a dynamic leader admired by his peers. Co-heading the Pembroke Society, he has served as a mentor for other African American students in particular, has organized events for the Martin Luther King Day celebration, and has made the group, quote, accessible and relevant in ways that few other students have, says his faculty advisor. In addition to being an avid cross-country runner, he also runs track in the fall and spring and helped his team reach the state track meet in Ohio his junior year. One of Emmanuel's own teammates said, quote, Emmanuel is the most inspiring runner. He literally will not quit. If he doesn't like his time, he just keeps trying. His work ethic is unmatched on the team, and yet he does it all with a smile on his face. He is one of the best attitudes toward running I've ever known. And these are his friends that have said this. There are a few people that can make someone feel at home like Emmanuel. He will think of others before himself and work hard to help another in need. Emmanuel is also a brilliant doctor in the making. Last summer, Emmanuel was accepted into a rigorous scientific enrichment program at the biochemistry department at Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, where Emmanuel worked on antibiotic treatment of bacterial infections for the university's ongoing research. The biochemistry professor said he was the best possible student one could ask for: mature, bright, hardworking, very sociable, very determined, and pleasant. She went on to say that the learning curve had taken about 2 days for him to rise to the level. He came to us without any laboratory experience, and we only needed to explain the steps to him once. He executed everything with ease and care. He can search meaningful literature, and he speaks the language of science. And to top it off, out of the 29 students that were accepted into that program, Emmanuel received the highest acknowledgement by winning the Mark A. Smith Memorial Prize awarded for his student poster presentation, which was also attended by the current mayor of Cleveland, Frank Jackson, and former Congresswoman Rose Oker. Emmanuel is clearly headed for the stars, but more than his intellect, he's respected for his warm, thoughtful, humorous personality and noble leadership qualities. He's never a quitter, always a go-getter, who has been named to honors and high honors every single semester of his high school career. Nobody has said it better than his faculty advisor, who says, quote, "Personally, I will miss him every day. His kind and gentle nature have been a wonderful part of my sponsor group. I believe that this young man is going places, and the college that is lucky enough to have him matriculate will be blessed indeed by his many contributions." And I'm happy to tell you that Emmanuel has decided to major in biology and pre-medicine and will be attending Wesleyan University in Connecticut this fall. So let's give him a round of applause. And I should have mentioned, all of these students have GPAs higher than 3.5. They're really excellent. And that concludes my time, but I want us all to give a big round of applause for all of these wonderful graduating seniors.
Sarah Balai, please come forward. By the way, Sarah Balai is a grandchild of Ato Milion Naknek, the well-known civil servants in Ethiopia who have served Ministry of Education for many years. So it's with great pleasure and with all the promises that she has for us, we'll award this. In recognition for your excellent academic performance and community services, May 29, 2016, Washington, D.C. With great pleasure and with pride. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. You can take a picture. There you go. Okay. All right. Ms. Haymanot Shimelis, please come forward. Ms. Haymanot came all the way from California. Her mom is also here. As a single mother, she put all what she has to make this intelligent child to be recognized at this event. So it's with great pleasure again that I will congratulate you, Haymanot. It's wonderful to have you. There you go. Thank you. Yona Shifarrao, my state New Jersey fellow, congratulations again. It's a great pleasure for Dr. Shifarrao, who is also a member of the advisory board. After serving many years, Johnson & Johnson as a vice president, now he's giving for seed his rest of the time to help us out in the future. Thank you again. There you go. The guy from the state of Ohio, of course, state for Mr. Aklilu and Manna and everybody else. Mr. Emmanuel Fatana, come forward, please. It's a great pleasure. Congratulations. Stay well. Thank you. That's it.
Hello, everybody. So tonight I would like to thank my mom and dad. Mom, thank you for telling me what I'm capable of and for giving me the support that I needed when times got hard. And Dad, thank you for making me realize I'm worth everything in this world and that I should never settle for less than what I deserve. And to the rest of my family, thank you for showing me what true unconditional love is.
Hello. So growing up, I was lucky enough to have my grandma with me at home who was able to take care of me while my mom was at work trying to make a better life for us. I've also been lucky enough to have my aunts, uncles, and cousins constantly in my life and be the support system I needed to get to where I am today. As Mena had mentioned earlier, I will be going to UC San Diego this coming fall, and my major will be International Relations with Political Science. I don't quite know what I want to do with that yet, but the Peace Corps and the United Nations are among my interests. Along with that, I plan on being involved with my Uncle Yadagal's nonprofit organization, LifeWells, that helps bring safe, clean water sources to remote villages in Ethiopia and other parts of Africa. But for now, I would like to thank my family, friends, teachers, and my mom for pushing me because they could see my aptitude before I could. Also, I'd like to thank Seed for this nomination and everyone who was able to come out tonight. Thank you.
Tadias and Deminachu. I'd first like to thank Seed for holding such a great event. It's truly a blessing, and I'm proud to take part in it. And now, on to the special thank yous. I'd like to recognize the Weinfurtner family. It's a long way away from home, so thank you for the effort you guys are putting in to see me. By the way, today is Brody's birthday, so he's turning 12. Welcome, Lidet. Yeah. Furthermore, I would like to thank my uncles, aunts, and cousins, especially the Osman, Fukru, and Nuru household. Some of my friends who are now in college warned me of the holiday season of senior year. They warned me that families tend to bombard seniors with questions about college. Even with this fair warning, I was not prepared for what was to come. In mid-November, I was frequently asked about what I'd be majoring in, what college I'd be attending, and even who my roommates were. They might as well have asked me who the next president was because I did not know any of the answers to these questions. Anyway, with that small bump out of the way, I can truly say that through thick or thin, our family can and will stay together. That's what family's for, and I thank every one of you for all the support you guys have given me. Also, special shout out to Salam and Bumnet Nuru for keeping things real and sometimes annoying. Lastly, I would like to thank my brother Abem and my mom and dad. You guys know that I'm not a real big fan of saying this phrase, but I love you guys. I have to admit that it'll be tough for me to not see you all every day when I'm living in college, but I will remember everything you guys have taught me, whether it be through simple deeds such as making my bed every morning, to the intangibles, a sense of confidence and pride in my roots and background. No one can ever take that away from me because you guys have ingrained that in me. So thank you.
Thank you to my whole family for coming out here today and coming out to graduation earlier today and supporting me through thick and thin. Thank you to Mom and Dad for showing me how to work and how to lead by example through your hard work. Thanks to my brother who was here earlier, but he had to go back to college. Thank you to, in general, to the whole Ethiopian community for really influencing me to become the person I am today, and thank you very much.
So I just wanted to mention that we're really delighted to have Adilawi Tasama. You might remember her. She was one of our honorees in 2011. She's now joined us. She studied global studies at UVA. She does government contracting. She's awesome, just like these folks over here. And she's even more awesome because now she's a new board member. So we've got some new, young, vibrant energy. So give it up for Ms. Adilawi Tasama.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really delighted to be back. Like Manna mentioned, I was a high school graduate honoree in 2011. And today I'm back to announce the winners for the Aster Asafa Grant Award, which is an essay contest that all 4 of our graduates have written an essay for, and they've submitted their essays. And I'd like to say they're all amazing writers, and we would like to thank you guys for participating in that award. And first, I would like to mention that this Essay Grant Award program has been supported by Dr. Johannes Abate for close to 10 years now, and it's an honor. It's in honor of his late wife, Mrs. Aster Asafa, and he will come up and say a few words about that in a few moments. And I would just like to tell you guys what the topic of the essay contest was this year. Last summer, July of 2015, President Obama made a historic visit to Ethiopia. He was the first sitting president to visit the country, and he gave a speech, and the honorees were asked to reflect on that speech. The essay topic was this question: what message does President Obama's speech teach us about the unique role Ethiopians in the diaspora should play in promoting democracy, human rights, peace, and economic stability? So that was the question. Maybe you can think about your own answers now in your heads. And I will now ask Dr. Abate to come and say a few words before we announce the winners.
Good evening. My name is Johannes Abate. I'm Aster's husband, and I'm here to present the Aster Asafa Scholarship Essay Competition Award. I want to thank Dr. Malaku and the SEED Board for establishing and continuing to support this scholarship award in memory of Aster. Aster was a passionate supporter of SEED and would be thrilled at this honor. This is the 6th year of the award, and it is presented to the best essay written by one of these outstanding, really outstanding young men and women seated right here with us. I want to thank all the judges, Shani, Salam, Moa, and Nabiat, and I want to extend a special thanks to Dr. Manna, who has been coordinating this competition for the last so many years. Dr. Manna, you do it so well every year. You make us all proud. Now, the winner of the $1,000 Aster Asafa Essay Grant Award for this year is...
So in first place, we have Emmanuel Fatana.
Emmanuel Fatana.
And so,
okay.
There you go. And I would like to mention that this was graded blindly by former SEED honorees, and we've asked Emmanuel to read a short excerpt from his essay, so he'll come do that now. And then we'll announce the rest of the winners.
Okay.
Dignity is an essential human right that everyone must have. The right to be respected and considered equal by those around us allows us to feel a sense of importance and value. In his speech to the people of Africa, Obama indicated that he is a firm believer of this ideology. In fact, Obama reassured us that this ideology is worthy of our fullest efforts to protect. The time has come where every country must use all of their efforts to combat global issues that degrade human dignity. This includes, but is not limited to, issues such as violent extremism, climate change, weak global economies, and extreme poverty. President Obama brought up these issues in order to divert our attention towards finding a solution as a means of obtaining and protecting human dignity. As always, Ethiopia and its people, including those in the diaspora, must find a way to help obtain and protect the dignity President Obama speaks of. Obviously, this role is not simple. There are certain standards we of the diaspora must live by in order to secure dignity. And to obtain it at its purest form or highest degree, we must promote economic stability, democracy, peace, and women's rights through the daily actions we take. All right. Thank you.
And in second place, we have Haimanot Shimelis. You can come take just give it to her. Congratulations. And in third place, we have a tie between Sara Belay and Jonas Shafara. so you guys can. Congratulations, everyone. And I would just like to close by letting the crowd know that the first place grant award is in the amount of $1,000. The second place is in the amount of $500, and the third place is in the amount of $250. So you guys can put it to good use.
There is each table, there will be a board member who will actually come talk to you and see if you have some ideas, if you want to pledge. The whole idea is in order to even have the gala event, we need some amount of money. We need at least about $30,000 to deposit, so we need some cash. So that's the idea that we have. Is there a way that, some of you can actually help us with that? And then we can actually then continue doing the work that I just talked to you about. Okay, so a board member would be assigned to each one of you, and there will be a discussion. And I think that's all we want to do for our part at this time. I know you don't carry your cash with you, but we have a pledge card, so you can actually write something down there.
I think the translation of what Dr. Shifaro said the last 3-4 minutes is this. We're going to ask each one of you to underwrite to the extent of $50,000 for next year's gala event. This house, this group, these 30 tables, I counted 30 tables, so we're all going to underwrite the expense of next year Valentine's Day seed event. Anybody disagrees with that? Everybody has some kind of function for Valentine's Day, correct? Everybody. Anybody who doesn't have it? Everybody. At least a small chocolate. Buy that chocolate to your loved ones on Seeds Day. So either by table or by school association or by co-workers, by marriage, by friends, whatever combination you like. All we want from each table is the commitment to make $50,000. Now, we have less than 5 minutes to do that. I think from this group, I don't think it will be very difficult to raise $50,000. እንዲህ መሰባሰቡ በየዓመቱ ጥሩ ነገር ነው፣ ግን ለዛ ደግሞ መዘጋጀት ያስፈልጋል። ትንሽም ደግሞ ከፍ ብሎ ማሰብም ይጠይቃል። ስለዚህ ዓመት በሙሉ አለን። ዛሬ ክፈሉ አይደለም፣ ነገ ክፈሉ አይደለም፣ እንዳውም በአሁኑ ዓመትም ክፈሉ አይደለም። 2017 ነው። ኮሚትመንታችሁን ካገኘን ደን ወደ ኮንትራቱ እንገባለን ነው የሚለው ቦርዱ። ስለዚህ የሚቀጥለው ዓመት የቫላንስ ዳይ ኢቨንት የሲድ ኢቨንት ይሁን ብላችሁ የምትግባቡ ከሆነ ዛሬ ያንን ቃላችሁን በጽሁፍ ስጡን ነውና ይሄ ካርዱ በሚዞርበት ጊዜ ብዙዎቻችሁ ብዙ ዜሮ እንድታረጉ ፈልጋለሁ። ዜሮ ዋጋ የለውም አይደለም? ግን በአሁኑ ወቅት ግን ለኔ የምታረጉልኝ በተሻለ መጠን አንድ ቁጥር ጽፋችሁ ከዛ በኋላ የፈለጋችሁትን ዜሮ ጻፉበት። በዚህ እንግባባለን አይደለም? ኦኬ ሶ የታላችሁ ቦርድ ሜምበርስ ወይም ደግሞ ካርዱን ስጧቸውና በየጠረጴዛው ላይ 2-3 ደቂቃ እንወስድና ከዛ በኋላ ያልተሟላ እንደሆነ ተመልሼ እመጣለሁ። ከተሟላ በጣም አመሰግናቸዋለሁ። እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልኝ።
ለሁላችሁም በየጠረጴዛችሁ ላይ ፕሌጅ ካርዱ ይሄንን የሚመስል አለ። ስማችሁን ትጽፋላችሁ፣ አድራሻችሁን፣ ኢሜል የምትችሉትን ያህል ደግሞ ትሞሉና ምናልባት የዛሬ ዓመት ሊሆን ይችላል፣ የዛሬ 6 ወር ሊሆን ይችላል፣ ምንም አይደለም። አሁን ከአዲስ አበባ የመጡ እንግዳ እዚህ በማዕከላችን ያሉ አቶ ታደሰ ጥላሁን የሚባሉ $5000 ፕሌጅ አድርገዋል። በእንግድነት ነው። ዛሬ ገና ነው የሲድን ኢቨንት አቴንድ ያደረጉት። ኢምፕሬስድ ሆነው ነው እና የዛሬ ዓመትም እመጣለሁ ብለዋል የሲድን ኢቨንት ለማካፈል።
Distinguished honorees, members of SID board, and ladies and gentlemen. It was not my place today to present Ras Alula. There was a Dr. Galaudios Araya was supposed to have come here to deliver his speech, but due to circumstances beyond his control, he was unable to come in. And at the 11th hour, I was given the opportunity to present to you Ras Alula, and I'll try my best. I know a lot of you know about Ras Alula. However, I will just simply reintroduce him by borrowing a few statements from the book by Haggai Ehrlich, PhD, in his book Ras Alula and the Scramble for Africa, and to some degree I will also use a resource of Dr. Galaudios Araya on Ras Alula, on Ethiopia and an African hero. Ras Alula had been actively involved in nearly all the major developments that took place in Ethiopia and Eritrea in the last quarter of the 19th century. He led Ethiopia's military struggle against the onslaught of imperialism, winning some 10 decisive battles from the clash with the Egyptians in Gura in 1876 to the Battle of Adwa against the Italians 20 years later in 1896. Toward of these invaders and Mahadis from the Sudan, Alula fortified Eritrea as Ethiopia's gate, abolishing in the process the autonomous status of local leading families. He built Asmara as a local capital, and around it he tried to moderate the Eritrean economy and control intra-religious relations. Ras Alula was closely involved in the internal developments of Ethiopia in his time, and was also a prominent figure in the shaping of much of the diplomatic and foreign policies during that crucial period, especially the so-called Hiwa Treaty, which in other words was the Adwa Treaty with Anglo-Egyptians. The personal history also of Alula, the son of a humble peasant, was neither formal education nor inherited position, but only his natural intelligence and abilities is a strong reflection of the central features of Ethiopian socio-economic and political culture of the time. The story of his achieving power and remaining influential against such background is closely interwoven with the other dimensions of the above-mentioned history. No less exciting than the factual construction of the multifaceted history was the task of coping with the various ways in which Alula was perceived by his contemporaries. None of them was indifferent to him, and he was the center of controversies which would outlive him to this day. We Ethiopians, of course, we wear these controversies as a badge of honor on his behalf. For the Italians of the time, Alula was simultaneously a barbarian African and an admired adversary, and his victory over the forces of Dogali in January 1887 was a landmark in their own imperial history. The British and the French, too, waved between respect for resourceful Ethiopian and unforgiving umbrage for daring to defeat the armies of the white man. Alula was the focus of similar controversy in Egypt, feared. He was feared and respected, admired and detested. The same is true of the Sudanese Mahadis, who also added a radical Islamic terminology to their dual image of Alula. He was the punishment that Allah inflicted upon the Europeans and the Egyptians, as well as their own Christian devil enemy. Despite all the controversies about Alula, he instilled in Ethiopia's soul a legacy of purity and heroism and longing for an era of great achievement and international respect. Alula was indeed a great Ethiopian hero. No wonder then that Mengistu Haile Mariam gave the name Alula to one of his elite divisions of army, as well as to the Mekelle airport, from which he sent his bombs to Eritrea. In Dogali's 99th anniversary, in January 1986, Mengistu had a monument erected in Ras Alula's name, dominating over the theater of the battle. Mengistu himself came there and personally inaugurated that monument. There is no evidence that this monument still stays erected in Eritrea. It is my belief that it has been destroyed. So we need to find a way to rebuild his memory. What then should Ras Alula's legacy to Ethiopia today be? The Alula story should no doubt transmit to the new generation of the nation of pride in one's history. Pride in one's history. Alula's period was glorious in the sense that Ethiopia managed to mobilize and all resources, stem Western imperialism, revitalize its political and social institutions, and reunite both as a state and as a nation. Alula reflects the best of that period. He was proud and courageous, confidently aware both of his abilities and his identity, and fully capable of leading, defending, and organizing a society. While Alula was an Ethiopian to the fullest, he maintained his Tigrayan heritage, but as a cultural dimension within pluralized Ethiopianism. Pluralized Ethiopianism. The Ethiopian of today must be grateful for Ras Alula's military bravery and the example he left behind. Ras Alula was a family man, was related to Emperor Johannes IV by way of his second marriage. I'm not saying by blood, by second marriage, and legitimized his relationship to the aristocracy. His great-granddaughter of such heritage, Wezero Yeshi Woldehiot, is here in person from the motherland to receive the award on his behalf of her great-grandfather. What an honor it is for Sid, and she is gracing us with her present. Let's give her a round of applause to Yeshi. Sid proudly and posthumously honors Ras Alula Abba Nagga for his gallant and perilous achievements as an outstanding military leader whose remarkable victory in the Battle of Adwa inspired the independence of Eritrea, Ethiopia, and the Black Liberation Movement throughout Africa and around the world. Sid is honoring Ras Alula Abba Nagga in recognition of his meritorious and service for Ethiopian extraordinary and legendary heroism and selfless act of courage by putting country before self. Sid salutes Alula Abba Nagga in appreciation of his sacrifices, leadership skills on the battlefield, as well as in admiration of his inspiring acts of valor and demonstrated love of country and unity. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ms. Yeshi Gabriel Hiwot to come here to the podium and receive the award and say a few words.
እንዴት አመሻችሁ? Dear Dr. Malaku Lakau, dear Ato Aklilu Demse, and other seat members, dear honorable guests and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I feel very proud and greatly pleased to welcome you to this event. Please allow me to express heartfelt delight on behalf of Ras Alula family and of my own behalf. I feel really honored to receive this award on behalf of Ras Alula, and I deeply appreciate SEED members for recognizing this hero of ours, Ras Alula Abba Nagga. Since I have limited time, I will be reading a short story of him in Amharic, and we have handouts in English for those of you who don't understand Amharic. I thank you. የተከበራችሁ የሲድ አባላት ዶክተር መላኩ ላቀው፣ አቶ አክሊሉ ደምሴ እንዲሁም ሌሎች የሲድ አባላት፣ የተከበራችሁ ጥሪ የተደረገላችሁ እንግዶች፣ ክቡራትና ክቡራን፣ በዛሬው ዕለት በዚህ ቦታ ራስ አሉላ አባ ነጋን አስመልክቶ ለመናገር እድል ስለተሰጠኝ በራሴና በመላ ቤተሰቦቼ ስም የተሰማኝን ደስታ ገልጻለሁ። እንዲሁም ይህ ድርጅት ለሀገራቸው ነፃነትና አንድነት ያደረጉትን ፊልሚያ በመገንዘብ ይህን ሽልማት በማዘጋጀቱ እኔም ይህን ክቡር ሽልማት በራስ አሉላ ስም በመረከቤ በራሴና በመላ ቤተሰቦቼ እንዲሁም በወዳጆቻቸው ስም አሁንም የላቀ ምስጋናዬን አቀርባለሁ።
በእውነቱ በጣም የሚያስደስት ንግግር ነው ወይዘሮ የሺ ያደረገችው። ወይዘሮ የሺን እዚህ ለማምጣት እና እናንተ ፊት ለማቅረብ ትልቅ ውለታ ያደረገችልን ወይዘሮ ዮዲት አማሃ እዚህ ከመካከላችን አለች። ሁላችሁም በየፊናችሁ ለሲድ አይን ጆሮ ሆናችሁ እስካላችሁ ድረስ እንደዚህ ሳይታወቁ ሊቀሩ የሚችሉ ሰዎችን ልታቀርቡልን ትችላላችሁ እና በዚህ አጋጣሚ በጣም ላመሰግን ፈልጋለሁ ወይዘሮ ዮዲትን። እንደውም አይተዋወቁም ነበር፣ ዛሬ ይተዋወቃሉ ማለት ነው። በጣም ነው ደስ የሚለው። This is what the plaque says. ማህበረ ግዩራን ዘር ኢትዮጵያ ኢትዮዘር present to ራስ አሉላ አባ ነጋ posthumously ቀሪን ሞታንን በማስታወስ ማለት ነው in recognition of his gallant and meritorious service in defense of Ethiopia, especially in the Battle of Adwa, May 29, 2016, Washington, D.C. I think he deserves not only a statue but also a museum. We all would like to work toward that goal. Someday that might be realized. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.